right. Is this working? It kind of is. Cool. Cool, cool, cool. Um, right. Hello, everyone. So it has been, oh my gosh. uh, all right. I guess my apologies. It has been a while since I've done a coding stream, and I had a lot of technical difficulty setting this up. So, um, I actually just got back from doing yoga outside. It is quite hot today, so that's why I kind of look a little frazzled on top of all the technical difficulties. Today, I actually wanted to go over. Let me make sure this is working correctly. Um, I wanted to go over a possible data set. Actually, I know it's a data set. To be honest, I'm cheating a little bit with this code stream. I work with a version of this at work, um, but the one at work is newer. And to be honest, they at work I haven't been able to do all the things that I want to do with this data set. So I figured, okay, well, there's stuff I can get out of this that I think is cool. So I'm just gonna do it. And I guess I don't really care. What if I'm not allowed to do it at work? It's unfortunate, but I feel like it is still very interesting. And honestly, like I can look at this more, even though I guess I'll just spoil it. It is COVID related data. Um, didn't want to do COVID related data for these live streams because it'd be work. And also because like it was kind of a downer, but we're getting to the point where like people are getting vaccinated, people are getting healthier and more aware. Hopefully, knock on wood. Personally, I've got my first dose, so I am feeling a little bit better, a little bit easier or at ease. And then next week I will get my second dose, so I'm really excited. But yes, so um, these are the things we're going to talk about today. So let me switch over to the source. Well, okay, first of all, I gotta fix this. I don't know why this isn't working. Um, what a weird. Okay, let's switch over to here. Okay, it works. All right, this is the thing that wasn't working before. It was driving me crazy. I have this plugin for OBS, and it's supposed to take everything that's on my laptop and then put it to my desktop, which is a way better computer. That way, I could only just focus on coding and stuff on my laptop and then work. And for some reason, it just wasn't loading. So I tried it. It wasn't working. I went to do yoga. I came back, and it was working. Very strange. Um, but yes, okay, so what we've got here, this is data from data.cms.gov. Um, and this is COVID stuff as related to nursing homes. So again, like I'm kind of cheating because like I do have to use this at work or a modified form of it. And I've also cheated a little bit because I know how big this file is. So I downloaded it before the stream because I did not think it was going to be particularly interesting to watch the download happen. Um, so what we have got, let's go to the actual data source. So basically, it was updated. Wow, today. That's pretty cool. So I wonder, I guess at work, we use a version of this that is quite a bit newer. So if this is updated today, something may have changed quite a lot since the last time I looked at the publicly available data. So because of that, why don't we actually just view the data on this website? So I downloaded a pretty raw CSV. You can get it here. Oh, actually, why don't I? If you want to follow along or you want to actually experiment with this yourself, I'm going to put this in chat because it is something that is worth playing with. At least I think so, and it's kind of interesting. Um, Once chat opens, I guess I have to. Man, as you can see, definitely working through some technical difficulties here. Yeah. So chat is open on my laptop. Probably not surprisingly, or this shouldn't surprise you, but turns out when you have two computers in one tiny room and it's already a hot day, it gets pretty toasty in here. Okay, so we have got, we're going to log me into chat so I can actually post this. But this link is, this is the data source that we're using today. So I was already logged in. That's weird. Okay. I don't know what's going on anymore. Oh, that is weird. I've got chat on twice up there. That's crazy. Okay. So, we've got this, and then one of the things that since we have all this data, we also want to look at the basically the data dictionary. We want to know what's in here, right? So we don't just want to look at the data. We want to try to understand what everything means, because sometimes you can kind of guess based off the title, but I've definitely gotten data where you just can't figure it out. You can look at it, but the title is kind of ambiguous, or it's really unclear what's happening. So this one, as you can see, has pretty spelled out information here. So when we actually look at, I'm going to scroll all the way up, and we're going to say view data. And I don't know if you can hear. Let me see if I can turn this up in Spotify. Huh. Okay, cool. I'm going to try to turn up my, desktop audio, because I'm totally listening to Spotify right now. And it'd be nice to kind of have background music, I guess. Oh yeah, actually, last time I checked on my stream to see how the technical things worked, and I think my mic is a little too low, so I will go ahead and change that. And the settings might have opened on this monitor. Cool. All right, let's move this over here. We're gonna change our microphone settings. Okay, hopefully this isn't auto changing. Yeah, okay, so I'm gonna guess it's a little louder. Hopefully not too loud, but before it was a little too quiet. Okay, so going back to the data. So the stuff we've got going on in here. Okay, just based off of, so I mean, I'm going to download this and put it in Python and explore with pandas, but we already have this pretty handy visualization thing, so I don't have to do the whole data transform or just to get it into a viewable form. We're just trying to figure out what we're actually looking at here. The most important thing for me is I actually want to know what the most recent date is, because since I've seen this at work, I know that this data has actually undergone some transformations. And it's changed over time. And therefore, and I'm also curious, when was the most recent one? Because I know how often this is changing. But even if I didn't know, it's still good to do some pretty rough exploratory data analysis. And we're going to use this tool here. Wow, it is slow. Maybe it would have been better to do this in pandas. So I will get my terminal open. And where did I actually store this data? Why didn't I remember to do that? Okay. Should be encoding. You can kind of see why I didn't want to have too much dependence on my laptop to do too much streaming stuff. I just want it to code because it is a little pokey, especially compared to the desktop that everything is running off of now. Okay, so there's our data set. I'm going to actually just make a directory, and we're going to say COVID, let's say nursing home, so NH, COVID, EDA. Let's just say NH COVID. Yeah, we'll do that. Okay, so we're going to move COVID to NH COVID, and I think something's not working. So I'm going to source my bash profile. Or bash RC. Hopefully that fixes something. I thought I had more colors and stuff on. I don't know why it's not loading. Cool, there we go. I got my colors back. So we'll clear. Man, this is really slow. Come on, laptop. So where are we? We are in projects, so we're going to cd into COVID. Okay. cd into NH. Let's see. And then normally, I would actually, man, Spotify, you have so many ads right now. Okay, so we're gonna go back. Wow, my Spotify is just like straight ads everywhere. I didn't realize it was this bad. I do not have Spotify Premium, but I thought on my phone I didn't have as many ads on. And something is stuck under my monitor, so that's good. Okay, cool. So normally I would make a Git repo, but I have one from work already, which I cannot link to my public GitHub. So I'm kind of like, do I want to make a new Git repo dealing with this, knowing that I'm not going to share it with anything? In terms of best practice, yes, I probably should. I should make a Git repo and then link to my public GitHub because it is actually work that I am doing. So, okay, let's go ahead and do that. We need to, let's see, need to, oh look, I have GitHub open. So I'm going to make a new repo. And we're going to use a template, and it's going to be this data science template, and we'll say NH COVID. And yeah, we'll make it a public repository. And I think I'm going to have to go back to my local directory, move that file back out, and then clone this down. And it has been so long since I've been doing anything on this laptop that I don't know if this is working anymore. So we've got the SSH key right here. We are going to move COVID to ... And that should show nothing in here. Okay, so we'll cd one directory, and then we're going to remove, and then remove NH, whoops, COVID. That's right, since you're a directory, I have to do, what is it, R? ls, cool, okay. So now we can git clone, oh, whoops. Command Shift V. Yeah, there we go. And I am curious how big this CSV actually is, because I downloaded it before I went to yoga, and now I don't actually know what the information is. So if it's a really big file, which is what I'm expecting, it definitely will not be able to go up into GitHub. So we're gonna move. Let's see. How do we get LSL? Okay, there we go. So we've got some file size here, I believe. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So 268 megabytes. Is that right? Sounds about right. Yeah, that's okay. So we're gonna move COVID into NH COVID, and in there should be a data. Yeah, there we go. And then in there should be raw. And the reason why I know all this stuff is because I'm using this template, which I'm like really familiar with because I've used it so many times. But the template just copies over a file hierarchy so that it's a lot easier. I don't have to keep making these directories over and over again. If you want to copy the template, I actually borrowed it from a friend of mine when I went to Flatiron's data science bootcamp up in Seattle. But you can actually just fork it from my profile on GitHub. Yeah. And then of course, like, you should go in and change all this stuff because like this template is just filler text. So you'll have to change that. Yes. Okay. So we've got our, let's move into our actual repo. Get status. We should be on main or on master. Okay, so there are things that we definitely need to change right now. This file is too big to go into GitHub. It'll be a huge hassle to deal with it later. So we're going to want to change our git ignore so that we don't sync up this data source. The other thing we want to do is right now, if you see I'm on base, I want to make a new virtual environment for this because let's see, if I do conda list, it should list all my packages. Base is really big, and I actually don't want to modify base because I just want it to stay as it is. So I can, yeah, there we go. Base has a lot going on, and it turns out I will honestly probably need like a lot of these, but I'd rather just like, I always make a new virtual environment whenever I'm doing a new project. I just think it's easier that way, and it helps me kind of make sure that everything is consistent. Yeah, so why don't I, let's see, we need to do, I should really save a cheat sheet for copying over a conda environment. Let me see. What did I click on here? Okay, let's possibly not show stuff from work. So we're gonna do an intermission screen right now. Actually, we'll do just me. Yeah, you get to see my sweaty mug. Okay, so we're gonna do, we want to look up the instructions for duplicating a conda environment. Conda copy environment. Okay, this cheat sheet, always useful. I will also put this in chat. If you use conda like I do, this thing is always really helpful. I don't know where this window went. Interesting. Okay, never mind. It's already shared in there. This is a little frustrating to have my laptop face away. If I face it towards me, I can't type. There's no space. um, okay, so the thing we're trying to work on now is this. What we want to do is we want to clone an environment. So we want to do conjure create. That's better. We want to do conjure create dash dash name, my clone. In this case, we'll probably call it, I don't know, nhCovid, and then dash dash clone, and then we want to copy. We'll just copy base. It's just easier that way. Okay, so we have got, where did it go? There we go. So we got conda create, wait. Do I have conda env list? I don't think I have a virtual environment for this on this laptop. I don't. I have one for, as you can see, I have one for Postmates from back when I was looking for a job before I joined CMS. Okay, so conda create name. We're going to call this nhCovid, and then we're going to do clone, and we're going to clone base. Cool. This will take a while. On this laptop, it shouldn't take that long, but you never know. Yeah. In the meantime, what are the things that we're going to be doing? I know I wanted to clone this environment because I'm going to need NumPy, and I'm going to need Pandas at the very least. Those are the things that I'm trying to explore a giant data table, so I'm going to need those. Cannot be cloned out of the root environment. Well, that's weird. Yeah. So what we can do in the meantime, actually this will take a while. I'm gonna open a new tab. I'm gonna go back into the same directory and I'll open Visual Studio Code, and then I'll modify my git ignore because I don't know what else there is to do while this is all downloading. Source bash rc. I don't know why it won't load my profile by default. It's really weird. But yeah, so we're gonna have that cheat sheet ready for us. And then one of the things that we definitely want to have available is the data dictionary. Let's see. Is there a data dictionary that doesn't require me to open? This is good enough. I was gonna say I think there's an Excel sheet that has a data dictionary, but I think that's just really annoying. I have to open Excel and I just want to see what's here. But this should be sufficient. Yeah. Okay, so there's a number of things that we're probably going to have to deal with right off the bat when we open this. CD, coding, projects, NH, and then Visual Studio Code. So the things that we're going to have to deal with, this week ending column at the very top, right here, we're going to have to turn that to a timestamp to really get any use out of it. This federal provider number, I have a feeling, I'm very strong suspicion that this will be imported as an integer or a float. And this is an ID number, so it cannot be a numerical thing. It's actually just text. It's a string. Zip code, classic problem. Anything with the leading 0 is going to be truncated. So I foresee a regex expression coming. A regex expression to fill in that leading 0. Yeah. Let's see. So other stuff, we've got submitted data and pass quality assurance check. I don't know why this is here. I'm just gonna filter. So one, these are gonna be strings, and they'd probably be better as just true booleans. So I'm probably gonna want to convert this into true false. This whole column. Same with pass quality assurance check. But I also probably just want to drop anything that didn't pass a quality assurance check. I know there's some description as to what it means. I think it's on here. There's a link that's well, this is what it means for it to pass the quality assurance check. But I think that is not something I want to investigate by myself in this data table. That is something that requires a lot more thought elsewhere, I think. So let's open code dot. Let's see, what else do we got? We've got weekly admissions. So these are safely all numbers. This is going to be Boolean again. Oh man, there's so many Booleans that can be just converted to actual Booleans. So that's good to know. Excuse me. Yeah. So I think I can probably use there's got to be a built-in pandas function that lets me just convert. It says like, oh, given this value, just convert it to either make a new column or just convert it over. Let's see. All right, VS Code, are you working okay? Oh man, it feels so different. At work, I use a Mac. Before I was using this like Windows subsystem for Linux on this Dell XPS, and I still prefer Windows subsystem for Linux and Windows 10. But now that I spend all my time coding on Mac OS, it's kind of a rude awakening to come back here. Yeah. Okay, so let's open this git ignore first because we knew we were going to have to do that. Uh-oh. There we go. Where did it go? Man. Come on, Visual Studio Code. There we go. Okay. So we definitely want to exclude data. And then hopefully they'll save over. Oh, right. Also, okay, it's still cloning the environment. I think we are still on master, so let's not do that. It's going pretty slowly. Oh, actually, so I will make a change here. Okay, I don't know if this is better. I realized I was like kind of cutting myself off. Hopefully I'm still kind of visible without cutting my face off. Yeah. Okay, so we're still on master. So obviously not good. Try to just generally avoid working on master. So we're going to make a new branch. Let's say git checkout B or dash B. What do we want to call this? Let's see, initial EDA. I want to do that. It's like my go-to for the first branch. Let's see. Yeah, let's allow git lens. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know if I think normally I will talk about I kind of miss working on that like Pokemon project I had. But I don't know. To be honest, I thought this would go a lot faster and a lot smoother. So I was like, oh, okay, well, I can do this because there were things that like I know from work I wanted to do, and it was like, okay, well, I can just build some helper scripts or something here for this coding stream, and I can maybe reuse those at work. Who knows? But I don't realize my laptop would slow down quite so much, and I definitely didn't realize that it would kind of take this long to like do everything over. Naively, I thought I already had made a like public facing version of this work, from work. It was totally wrong, and I just didn't have time to switch everything over. Cool. So we're still in base because there's no this. As you can see, this isn't done yet, but that's fine. I just won't install other packages. So now that we've modified the git ignore and we're safely not on master anymore. Also weird. I thought it changed the default to main, but whatever. I can change that later. Okay, so we are on a different branch, so I'm going to say git add dot git ignore just to make sure. Oh. Just to make sure that we get rid of this. We try not to save the data subdirectory. So status again. There we go. Cool. So I'm just going to let's see, git add. Already did. Okay, cool. So I'll commit that locally. Oh, I think I didn't change a setting on here. I think on my work computer, dang, on my work computer I changed the setting so that by default whenever I made a commit, I would open Visual Studio Code so I can write the commit message in there, and I definitely like that better instead of writing it in the command line. Okay, so I'm actually going to write a couple things on this README as a to-do. Okay. So let's see. To do. Okay, so what do we got? We got a few things. So related to the data. Okay, one, we're gonna have to reformat the week ending column to date time. Two, reformat the CCN column to a string. Let's see, and we'll check for leading zeros and fix them. I think CCNs should be 6-digit alpha numeric codes. And my source for this is I saw it at work, and there's also if you go to we have a list of nursing homes and their star ratings that is publicly available, and that always displays 6 digits. So I believe CCNs are always going to be 6 digits. Reformat all yes/no strings to booleans. Filter out the data that either filter out data that wasn't submitted. I'm not sure why that is in there, to be honest with you, because if they didn't submit data, I'm not sure what they populated it with. Filter out data that didn't meet quality standards. Let's see, what else do we got? We've got zip codes. That's probably actually easier to do. Reformat zip codes to my bad. I can read it on my monitor, but I'm realizing it's kind of small in the stream. Same here. Ooh, I don't remember the shortcut to change the zoom level in Visual Studio Code. Stars lost the lightning. Okay. Oh, hey, control and scroll wheel. So we'll just do that. Um, cool. All right, we're gonna reformat the week ending column to a date time, reformat the CCN column to a string, check for leading zeros and fix them, reformat zip codes to strings, um, fill in leading zeros with regex. So this is actually a pretty normal workflow for me. Basically, I haven't even really touched any code. I'm just like doing basic setup of like, how do we want to approach this problem? I never want to like jump in and try to solve things with code right away because I feel like that's like kind of implies that like, um, at least to me, I think if you jump in with code right away, it's like jumping too fast to try to use a tool over actually trying to understand the problem. Um, yeah. Okay. So those are the to do related data items. What else do we need to do? Let's look at the actual columns again. Um, let's see. What are the things that we would consider important? Okay. So this weekly confirmed and suspected for staff. Um, there's. It has definitely been a while. Oh, okay. Okay, this geolocation. I don't know why that's in here. I just want to get rid of that. I don't see how this is all that necessary. We've got the address, we've got zip codes. Trust that I think those are going to be more accurate than a geolocation. And in fact, when I saw this at work, this actually caused a huge number of problems because like this geolocation column wasn't consistent. Um, so let's say we're going to drop um, geolocation column. Yeah, it wasn't consistent, and then like honestly, it would crash. I'm not sure what it is about that field, but it would just crash the Jupyter cell sometimes. Um, let's see. Oh, there's stuff on influenza. That's cool. I mean, it's not cool, but it's good to know. Um, yeah, there's definitely a lot more stuff in here right now. Uh, Vaccine assistance. Definitely saw that from work. Yeah, there's a ton of columns in here. Honestly, probably not going to use all of them. Um, I think the thing is, so off the top of my head, um, initial approach. Um, I think we should consider number of cases. But I think one thing that I would want to think about is not necessarily the number of cases among the um, either the residents or staff. I would want to know what percentage of residents or staff. So that's unfortunately one thing that we do not have. We don't have the total number of staff on hand. It looks like. Let's see. All right, Control F, staff. What is it highlighting? Reason for not testing staff. So this is a little unfortunate. This is going to make things a little bit difficult because since we don't have the number of staff, we cannot find a percentage based off of just this data. Um, Very interesting. And I don't know where I'd be able to find this data in a public source, and I don't feel like doing getting some data from CMS from work to actually fill in this column. So that's going to be a problem. Okay, so we should consider a number of cases, but based on a percentage of, say, residents and staff. Complications. 1, do not have staff counts. As it stands, unable to make a, or calculate a, what is with my type? Calculate a percentage. Oh, because I can't see the entire row. Got it. That's why. Calculate a percentage of staff. Okay. Other things. We should probably think about. Oh, we can build a predictor, right? So I noticed in the in here. Oh, actually, I'm having too many thoughts. Also consider zip code, county, because there are places that are hit harder. Localized response and comparison is more relevant. And I noticed this because, so I'm in San Jose, California. In Santa Clara County, we did have really bad COVID cases about a year ago. And we're trying to make sure that everyone responds correctly. And I mean this as a Californian, right? The problem is that in Southern California, and honestly, even in East Bay and more rural areas, those are places that got hit harder because they, especially near LA, they just didn't listen to COVID guidelines. So they just had a ton of cases and then just made California overall look really bad. So we're going to say like zip code and county are going to be important to consider because, if there are nursing homes in counties that are really hard hit, that's an important thing to consider because we really want to protect the residents and because they're the vulnerable population. The staff we would like to also protect, but there's less kind of control or intervention that we could do that way. Let's see, what else? What was the other thing I was thinking of? There are columns in the data that basically, I think I saw them in the bottom. Facility would like assistance, right? These are things that, this is a Boolean right now, but maybe if we could predict that that might need help with these without them explicitly telling us, that'd be helpful, right? So like we can actually just say like, okay, well, based off of this week's reporting, do we think that they would need help next week? And maybe we can just reach out to them and just say like, okay, we think they're going to need help. Let's just get this ball rolling. And then before they even it takes a little while for this data to come to us. Before the data even arrives, maybe we can just send out some sort of help. In a worst case scenario, they may be like, oh, well, I didn't need help. Hopefully they'll just say thank you. Let's see. We can also try to make a predictor to see, I guess, predict whether a nursing home needs help in the next week. Okay. So maybe instead of initial approach, we'll just put thoughts. So I guess related to this, this to me, because it's a Boolean, just screams logistic regressor to me. Logistic regression. Because we just need to say, okay, yes or no, right? There's only two outcomes. And we've got all this other data, all those other columns to say, okay, maybe we can use those to figure it out. The other thing is we don't want to do it based off of the overall data as it is right now, because there's reports from like let's look at the information here, and it looks like there's too much data to visualize, but we can see like the first week is May 24th, right? So like having a point of data predicting whether or not they need help on May 24th is not helpful, because that's almost a year ago. But if we could basically do some sort of time series analysis on this and then predict like, okay, well, what happens given this time series data, or if we convert it to a time series data and then all this other stuff that's going on. Oh, we got a lot of nulls to fill in. That's right. Let me put this down because they've changed the data so many times. Fill nulls. They will be mostly zeros, I believe. Let's see. Because I just quickly looked at this. Able to test, or nope, they're going to be mostly how do we fill in Boolean nulls? And there's going to be so many of them. Okay. We've got, there are a lot of nulls where the intended values should be booleans. How do we fill these in with an imputed value? Very, let's see, fill nulls. So let's say for numeric columns, just use zeros. For Boolean, okay, so that's interesting. I think I forgot about this at work actually, so this is actually kind of good. Okay, so logistic regression as a baseline for performance and accuracy. Let's see, since we've got the phrase next week implies time series, we do not have continuous time. This is discrete time on a weekly basis. Let's see, what else do we got? We also have this, if we are going to drop when they don't submit or pass the quality assurance check, there might be missing rows for that week. If we drop missing unsubmitted, I guess, unsubmitted data, and past failing quality assurance checks, we may drop some records. Actually, I would say we will. So then we don't have a continuous state. Okay. This might actually require something more complicated. So again, I'm kind of cheating because I I thought about this earlier at work, but basically, when I tried to think about doing a time series forecast with non-continuous states, so you might have missing states, and you just don't really care what the value is beforehand. You're just trying to figure out what the next one is. And talking to a couple people, and then also doing some research, I think the suggestion was to use a hidden Markov model. So this is exciting. This is actually one of the things I was trying to build. Um, as cool as this would be, this presents a potential problem because the data has to be reformatted in a way that I've never actually done before. So, how to reformat data to fit hidden Markov model? Yeah. So look at, you can see all of these questions and notes I've already taken, and I still haven't opened the data set in Python. um, so I don't know. There's still like kind of a lot to do without even trying to just like, you know, read CSV, import pandas as PD and read CSV. And we're already at like an hour. I'm actually really hungry too. So let's see. Okay, cool. So we've got a new Conda environment too. Conda activate, NH COVID. Come on, tab autocomplete. Come on, you can do it. Come on, yeah, come on. Maybe you can't do it. It did it before. Oh, I remember. So, on my work computer, I figured out something, I think in Z Shell, that allows me to tab autocomplete virtual environments, and I don't think that's on by default in most things. Um, okay, so we've got an actual Conda environment for this. What we want to do is we want to export the Conda export environments. I think there's an arrow. Environment.yml. Let me see. Let's look at our cheat sheet again for managing Conda environments. Export. Conda env export. There we go. That's the thing we're going to do. Okay, conda env export environment.yaml. Oh man, I'm realizing on this computer I actually prefer to use pip environments. Dang. Okay. Oh, that's fine. I guess I can still make one, but might as well just stick with conda. Um, yeah, I kind of like, so there's sometimes there are packages that just like are not in conda for whatever reason, and then it's just easier to just use pip environments. But conda has a better like version control system slash conflict resolution system when it actually works. Sometimes it just takes forever and it never actually resolves your conflicts. Yeah. Um, okay, so we have got some notes in our README. We've got notes in our README. Actually, I'm realizing I can't see chat. Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't realize. Uh, okay. Yeah. So yeah, I mentioned before the wow, I feel really bad. I didn't realize I didn't have like I literally could not see chat because it was behind the screen over here. But I was gonna say that the regex was to I don't know if I answered this before, but it was to essentially fill in leading zeros because I have zip codes and IDs and they have the leading zeros, and I just want to fix that. Um, yeah, and since they're classifiers and or ID numbers and they're not actually integers, it's like kind of a huge problem, I think. Um, it just breaks some of the compatibility. I think. I think like one of the other things I wanted to do, considering we have zip codes, is I want to update the county, because I think in here, does it list the actual county? It does. I don't know how up to date this is, to be completely honest. Um, there's the reason why I have this thought is I actually learned this at work, so I feel kind of bad that I'm like cheating and mixing like actual work knowledge from looking at this. And like I didn't know this, but for zip codes, they don't actually like have a meaning technically in a like a geolocation thing. Like zip codes are basically just like a logistical thing to help deliver like mail, right? So like there's not really like a county necessarily assigned. So and zip codes can actually change counties um, just to fit population demographics. And like I think one of the things with like gerrymandering is that they use zip codes to do it. Um, so because they can change, sometimes like between elections and stuff, uh, this actually has to be kept up to date. So I don't know when the last time these counties in this data set were actually updated. And when I tried to actually show these like at work, like I had a bunch of errors because some places were like, you have like multiples, you have one zip code in like multiple counties, or your zip code slash county mapping, your county mapping for this zip code is just wrong. So I'm trying to figure out, let me actually write this down in the markdown. How, when were the county, when was the county updated? How to source updated information. Okay, yeah, hope I answered the question. Okay. And also, I will put this as a reminder to do stream related. Figure out delay between OBS NDI working and or turning on and actually displaying a signal. Remember to keep chat visible. Yeah, I'm super sorry about that. Yeah, let's see. What else can we do? To do, and then put a column in here. Okay. Okay. So we've got all of these down. And I have been on for like an hour and 8 minutes. So I kind of want to at least turn on the AC, but I also think I should just take a break and eat my dinner. I think this is like good, I think, to send up, and then I can work on this later. I might hop on later tonight and do more work on this. But at least I know that there's some stuff working in terms of like the stream. Yeah. Okay. Cool. I'm gonna take a break and then I will hop on later, I think. So I will see all of you later. All right. Bye. course, I don't remember how to shut off the stream anymore. All right, I'll see you later. Bye.